I did not know that such a simple act would change my life forever. I reached out my hand and they took my life. I will tell you how, but first please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Making videos like this is possible with the software in description, and if the story speaks to you, you can help us reach more people by donating via PayPal. Don't forget to send us your testimonial if you want to share it at hollyholly701@gmail.com. You are blessed. My name is Jordanne, but everyone calls me JoJo. I lived in such a calm and warm city. Seen from the outside, everything was fine. The town had everything to envy. We had a group of friends, mainly girls. The two boys in the group served as our strong arms when we had to defend ourselves against other gangs in the neighboring district. They always looked down on us. It was a residential district, and their standard of living was much higher than ours. This competition had been going on since the dawn of time, and neither our parents nor the church elders could dissuade us. The fight could have been superficial, but things got even heavier. Every weekend, we had shopping sessions with new clothing brands that we posted online at the end. It was the race for followers, for popularity, and by extension for power. Besides that, we organized outings to the most famous clubs in town without our parents knowing, of course. We had homework as an excuse, and since our parents trusted us with our good results, it was not too difficult to obtain permission. Fortunately, we knew how to reconcile school and challenges since school results were part of it. One Saturday, when we were finishing up with the last photo shoot, Merville made an offer. I have a brand new idea, a new concept that will allow us to stand out and above all to be original. You always have ideas, and that's why you are our senior advisor. Come on, we're listening, Arthur replied. Okay, what do you think if we create our own brand? A name and a badge, basically everything that goes with it. I quite like the idea. It would make it better for people to talk about us. What do you suggest as a name? I know you already have something in mind. Well, yes, how about C's? It sounds great, and it's cool, but why CAs, and what does it mean? People of the sea, since we are in a seaside town. The beach and the water is what we know the most. I see. Well, if no one has any objections, we adopted cause as far as I'm concerned. I don't have a better proposal. The group adopted this name unanimously, and we were now known as C's. It was the beginning of a story that would totally change our lives. The same night, I had a very weird dream. I was walking on the beach, and a young girl had invited me to bathe with her. Without thinking, I followed her. It was as if I was drawn to her. Once in the water, I only saw fish, and I felt like one of them. I got scared, and when I got out of the water, I found my body. It was with chills that I woke up. My heart was beating hard, and I was really cold. I was freezing to the limit. At the time, I had made a prayer since Mom always told us to pray when we have restless sleep. After that, I didn't pay too much attention to it and continued with my activities, but I had the same dream for a whole week. I didn't want to bother my parents. I kept it to myself, especially since I had better things to do. Things were going quite well in the group. We had more and more followers, and there was success on the networks in our group compared to the other groups. Our brand grew more and more popular, and we also had rings. Merville had shared them with us, and they all bore the initial of our brand. We were getting so busy that we would give up church services. We had grown so powerful that once out of high school, we rented a villa for college. Money was not an issue. I saw it as a blessing for all our determination. I was starting to love the things of the world and letting go of so many things that before were forbidden to me, like alcohol, drugs, and even sex. All the members of the group had boyfriends, so in order for me not to seem odd, I had to get one for myself too. It wasn't a difficult task since everyone on campus wanted to be one of us. I remember my first boyfriend, Marshall. He was a student in his final year. We had good times, but not long after he died. We had spent the night together the day before. I was very confused, but Merville always told us to look at the bright side rather than the past. We always had to have boyfriends to maintain our image, so I had to find another one. This is how I lined up relationship after relationship, and all of them, without exception, died. That's enough. I'm not going to get in a relationship anymore. I prefer to be alone. Oh no, you won't do such a thing. But I'm sick of it, Merville. Look at me. I stopped counting who I sleep with, and you've been hanging out with the same people ever since. I don't think I'm cut out for that. You are most assuredly made for this. You are the one who gives us so much power. How come? You can't understand. All you have to do is continue your collection, otherwise you won't have your place in the group anymore. You're kidding, I hope. Oh no, I couldn't be more serious, my dear. I didn't understand why this relentlessness. Why this ultimatum? All I knew was that I was fed up. I was tired even of this so-called glory. I was suffocating. I had to leave. So I decided to separate myself from the group and focus on myself, something that was not obvious. I no longer slept at night. I had nightmares all the time during which I was asked to pay and report. It was still in those waters. I woke up wet. I didn't understand how. It wasn't the heat because, on the contrary, I was cold. One weekend, Mom came to visit me because no one heard from me on campus, and I didn't answer the phone. She found me in my room completely messed up. My skin was drying and flaking. She screamed in horror, but I couldn't hear a thing. All I remember was feeling a great heat rising in me, and I was hurting all over. I was surrounded by people who were praying, and as I struggled with them to free myself from this force that waved and held me back, the moment the pastor took the ring off my finger, I started to vomiting. This experience was so traumatic for me that I still have goosebumps today just by thinking of it. The light shone, and we discovered that this group was in fact a sect in which Merville was the godmother. She initiated us into the realm of the waters without our knowledge and controlled us by these rings. We had meetings while we slept, and glory was the product. As for me, I was the one used to make sacrifices, and each time I slept with a man, he would die and his spirit will be recovered by the spirits of the waters. I never imagined that such an innocent project would almost take my life. I had the grace to be saved, and I am on a commission to free others, and I have just one weapon, which is prayer. God saved me, and I'm grateful to Him, but others are still in bondage, and the burden is heavy. We need to pray so that they can be freed from these chains. They all seem to be hypnotized, and no one wants to believe it. And above all, no one wants to leave all the luxury to follow God. But is it really worth it? May it not be too late. Let the spirit of discernment be your portion in the name of Jesus. Shalom.